Hello, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for, believe it or not, the last Friday in June. It's going to be breezy in some places today and through tomorrow. For today as well, with the system passing to our north, we're going to have some isolated showers and thunderstorms, and these will be dry storms, so little to no rainfall expected. Maybe a little bit of a gusty wind issue with some of those stronger storms, but most of the high winds occur once those storms pass into Montana. Otherwise, hot and dry conditions will return, and that'll be through early next week. Outside of any potential fire weather concerns, may run into some heat risk issues as we get towards Tuesday and Wednesday next week. But by then as well, we've got some monsoon moisture arriving, and that will be an increasing chance of showers and thunderstorms. We have some moisture moving through the area this already today, and this will continue throughout the day into this evening. The main storm is going to pass well to our north. Well, we've got that moisture coming through for those isolated dry thunderstorms. But again, most of that activity is going to really not get going until it gets into Montana or even up into the Idaho Panhandle. Gusty winds for most areas today, except down along the Utah border into the southeast corner. Not much of a wind gust potential today, but certainly farther north and west across our areas when and where we'll see those winds picking up. And that continues in tomorrow, at least for the wind across the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley. There might be a couple of thunderstorms tomorrow up near Monida Pass and Island Park, but that chance right now is mainly staying up into southwest Montana. We have a break Sunday into Monday. Then we start to see the showers and thunderstorms returning with that monsoon moisture. And again, if it gets hot enough, if we have enough sunshine on Tuesday, we might run into some heat risk issues across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, with temperatures in some areas trying to get pretty well into the 90s by that particular point in time. How are things looking through the day? We don't have a lot going on, at least for the first half of Friday. We get to later in the day, you'll notice that we start to see those isolated thunderstorms over the central mountains, especially once you get from Chalice down through Mackey north and east into southwest Montana. Then those storms stay basically along the Montana border once you get over towards Monida Pass, Island Park, West Yellowstone. Some of the models, high-resolution models, are trying to create a few storms down south this afternoon. It seems to be overdone. We might get some afternoon cumulus build up, maybe some Virg out of that. We're not expecting any thunderstorms or any precipitation that far south for this afternoon. And that pretty much is done as we go into the overnight hours. And once again, we might see a sprinkler or two down south, but most likely just some mid-level clouds without any precipitation or lightning coming from that later on tonight. There is the probability of lightning and thunder. Most areas, the best chance is going to be up north today. I think once you get basically south of generally Ashton Hill, that area, over towards Stanley, the potential of thunderstorms is probably really overdone. It may not be zero, but I don't think we're going to see much of anything developing. And like I said, it's mainly that far south, looking at some higher-level mid-level clouds, and a little bit of Virga potential with that. That continues into this evening, especially up towards the Montana border from Monida Pass over towards the Island Park, and even a few lingering storms up around Lost Trail Pass and over towards the Montana border area with Beaverhead County. Those wind gusts outside of storms today, there is that about a 10 to 30% chance of some thunderstorm gusts over 35 miles per hour. But outside of that, for this afternoon, some of those gusts 25 to 35 miles an hour, maybe a little bit higher in a few spots, especially over the highest elevations of the Central Mountains and also across craters up towards Mud Lake, that area as well. And those gusts continue into this evening, but quickly should be dying down once we lose the sun and instability this afternoon. Speaking of how it's going to be today, temperatures in the mid-70s to mid-80s for most areas in the valleys. Once you get down into portions of the Snake Plain and the Magic Valley, down into the Utah border area and over into the Treasure Valley, some low to mid-90s for this afternoon. For tomorrow, we do have a little bit of wind across the area, not expecting any storms, but a little bit of wind, a little less than today, but still some gusts 25 to 35 up and down the Magic Valley and the Snake Plain, especially over around craters up through the Arco Desert area, and those winds, again, mainly in the afternoon, shutting down once we get past sunset in the area. Temperatures for tonight and tomorrow, A little bit cooler in a few spots. Not much of a difference, but for temperatures tonight, mainly 40s and 50s. The colder valleys in the mid to upper 30s by tomorrow morning. Sunday, we start to just kind of inch those temperatures up a little bit on Sunday. That trend goes into Monday, but you'll notice by then it'll be pretty darn warm in the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures in many of the lower elevations, low to mid 90s. Once you get over into the Treasure Valley, down towards the Utah border, 95 to 100-degree temperatures possible for Monday afternoon. And Tuesday, not much of a change temperature-wise, even though we might see a little bit of that monsoon moisture coming in, just enough for a few showers and thunderstorms at this point. The way it's timing out, Central Mountains up towards the Island Park area as well. But that trend has been getting less and less for that potential of thunderstorms going into Tuesday. So we'll continue to watch that trend over the next few days. But certainly, once we get past Tuesday, a much better chance of showers and thunderstorms with monsoon moisture returning. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and do stay safe out there, everyone.